everyone. Here's another story for Lent. I wonder where this place could be. Sometimes it can be a desert. The desert can change shape when the wind blows and people get lost in the desert. People adventure in the desert as well. There's not enough food or water in the desert. But near the desert there can be places where people grow things and there are houses. For today's story, we need a lake. Here's our lake at the edge of the desert. And we need a house. Here's our house for later in the story. Now, Jesus came out of the desert and he began to tell lots of stories, but he also went near to people that other people wouldn't touch. And they were better again. One day, when he came out of the desert and crossed the lake, somebody called Jairus came to see him. There were lots of other people there, all crowding around, but Jairus came and he fell down at Jesus' feet and said, "Please, come with me. My little girl, my daughter, who's 12, is really poorly." And Jesus set off with Jairus to go to his house. But there were so many people around, pressing in, crowding around. There was one woman in the crowd who'd been poorly for a very long time. And she thought, if I just touch Jesus' cloak, I'll be made better. So she did. And Jesus said, "Who touched me?" Well, his friends said, "There are so many people about. We never know who touched you." But the woman said, "It was me." And Jesus said to her, "Be better. Your faith has made you better." And she went away better. And they carried on their journey. But then some people came across, some servants came to Jairus and said, "Don't bother the teacher anymore because your little girl is dead." Jesus said, "Don't worry, it'll be all right." And they carried on their journey to the house. And when they came near the house, they could hear everybody crying, and Jesus took with him 3 of his best friends, and they went into the house with Jairus, with the mother and father of the little girl. And Jesus took the little girl by the hand, and she stood up. He said, "Little girl, get up," and she did. And she began walking about. And then he said to her mum and dad, "Give us something to eat." And they did. Two stories in one, really, about 2 women. I wonder if you would like to be in the story, where you'd like to be. I wonder which part of the story you'd like to be in. With the crowds of people by the lake, in the house of the little girl. I wonder. It's been a difficult week for lots of people. There's been a story of a woman who has been killed. And at the beginning of the week, it was International Women's Day. And this is a story of Jesus who came close to people who no one else would come close to. And a story of a woman and a girl. And that's our story for today.